everybody's favorite subject matter, narcissism, comes from a place of lack, it's insecurity. And so that's just like there's a number of things that can cause it. Inside of the hospitals where people are sick, nurses are trained, they get paid to deal with everybody's narcissism. When people are sick, whatever the illness is, especially a physically debilitating disease, those people exhibit some kind of narcissistic qualities. Even the nicest ones that are trying to use kindness to get what they need into them. That kindness, that nicey nice game, could very well be a way that narcissists manipulate and serve themselves. But you see, the difference between the people in the hospital and the people not in the hospital, that you can't even tell that there's a problem there. I mean, really, you can tell because they overstep boundaries. It's an energetic jab. But you see, the people in the hospital, I mean, let alone that you're getting, if you're there tolerating it, I mean, I guess you don't want to be tolerated, but you're there doing that. Why? Well, because you're making money. And maybe you see a difference in people, you can make a difference in people's suffering. Some people are like that, and so they don't mind. I mean, they think they want to help situations. It's like, well, you can't really help. You just kind of provide services until it's time to go home in places like that. And believe it or not, it's kind of like, well, the thing about your narcissist that's not hospitalized, and do you ever have a place to go? I mean, home. Do you find yourself like content in your own space, let alone at a home? That's a question. Um, just main reason why I wanted to talk about it is because, well, because it comes from that place of lack, and kind of like there's the black hole narcissist, which is like worse than lack. You know what I mean? It's literally vampires, parasitical. There's a lot going on around it, but then where does it go? It just goes into a black hole. There was such potential there, but everything just gets either sucked in or sucked in. Um, what happens? I mean, there's an event horizon there. There's people, whatever sensations are gathering around this thing, and then it just whoop, goes away. Like people are does anybody even talk, get together? Of course, it's really hard to gain any ground with that, though, because they always have an event horizon that's bigger of people being attracted than the ones who get completely repelled or sucked in and destroyed forever, that are able to organize themselves and say, but there is always, with with people that are using other people, they don't get life, that they're attracting people in and then they hurt them really bad. Um, they have a number. I mean, it's just pretty much equal, if not eventually, if you can imagine, it's more, and they're pretty much in hiding. I think that a lot of that is kind of going on up here. It's hard to tell what's going on up here, but when I say up here is where I live in the mountains. It's peculiar, but I call it the world condensed, and I didn't just say it's it's the civilization condensed. No, it's the immature jungle that is the world condensed up here. unfortunately. I mean, it's you know, um, there's a place to go up here, climb up the mountains and up the waterfalls and get completely away from the asphalt and even maybe probably even all of the noise. But it's building up all around this mountain, a lot more development on either side. Palm Springs has a lot. That's a worldwide renowned city, Palm Springs. People come around the world, and let alone, they do come up here. And the thing that is new that I've heard now, just recently, hardly a year of this, is the race car. The race cars have made it up here, and there's only one stretch. I mean, there's two stretches, but I think they mainly see the one there by the elementary school where they can just open it up, and so it's just this loud, and fucking, it's so loud. I'm sure you can hear that all clear to Talkwitz Peak. I'm sure I sound like an old-fashioned person, but let me get back to narcissists who uh, talk about old-fashioned. It's like, no, I'm just kind of simple, and we need to be simple. If you haven't gotten that message in the past 3 years, let alone this is the key to life, is to try not to do all of that first compulsory suggestion stuff. Find out what you like, find out what really works, and simplify, simplify, simplify. Because life is such a hard enough thing, and also it seems that there is a big business that is just devilish that wants you to run at top speed for what? It certainly hasn't anything to do with your desired life. And do you feel good? Forget about that. Just take a pill and forget about it, right? So, but anyway, boy, getting back to trying to talk about. See, I mainly, if you're an empath, you can relate. You have compassion for the less fortunate, and with your senses, perhaps as many, you have a secret world too. You're an artist and you feel good, maybe. If there's a little of that going on, you have narcissists glomming onto you. It's like, I mean, comment section down below, it's like a catch-22. It's like, well, now that you're feeling good, you're ready for more parasites and vampires to just glom on. Why? Why does that happen? Well, when an empath starts to fall and we really need support, it's not looking good. It's not looking good to narcissists because all of a sudden they're being called upon, and it's like, when you can't use emotions to do any of that, and you certainly can't. You better pick yourself up, and it's like, no, it's actually time to help each other, you stupid idiots. They're not solving any problems, not their own, and you'd be surprised why they're even there in your life, right? Why are they even there? Is it because you were feeling really good about yourself and you were doing so good there right beside you, just singing along, singing your song? Or are you just always putting into their, hopefully it's not a black hole, but maybe it's just a regular old parasite or a vampire. How about that? 'Tis the season, here we come. And speaking of which, babes, which is a Plutonian subject matter, and it's coming up tomorrow, that we have a Mars square Pluto. It's like this has to happen, which is very ghetto. I would like to give you some keywords to the Mars square Pluto types. The scenario is very ghetto. It's kind of underground, brutal. Be careful. Watch out for shady individuals. Be careful of, the horrific subject matter of rape in the alley and people being arguing, and the brute force comes in. Bullies, the Mars Pluto type, coming up where it's going to kind of see, I call it triggered. If you have this Mars square Pluto is coming up. Everybody knows that the Pluto is in Capricorn at 27 degrees, and if you have a cardinal, which is Cancer, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but why not? The news does it all the time. Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn is where the Pluto is. That's lighting up. You're being triggered if you have any planet at the degree of cardinal, at that late degree 27. Well, I have Mercury there, and I admit, see, Pluto is a very slow moving aspect, and I warned people like 3.5 years ago or more. I was like, oh God, where's my microphone? Sorry, I didn't get it. Fair warning, people. I'm about ready to just be pummeled and chopped in half by Pluto. I'm going to the ghetto, and we are going to diarrhea it up. It's going to be okay because, well, I'm part of the Librian generation who will pull out of it when Pluto moves into Aquarius. It's going to be a difference like night and day. And I'm just trying to look for the actual placement right now, but I remember it's October. If I remember anything with my Pluto laden, fucking tainted, talk about a vampire on my mind. And it's like, nope, I am humanity. I'm not an isolated incident. Is everybody not feeling the last throes of the I was going to say power struggle, but I think by this time, see, when we're talking about the square to Libra, it's Venetian. I don't think women are doing a power struggle. It's more like when are you? It's like, well, what is power? When we talk about water is powerful because it's soft and it gives way, and anyway, thanks for listening to this. But getting back to today, see, well, tomorrow is Friday, and we are on Saturday tomorrow, and we have to get through this. Mars squaring Pluto, and it's in the air where people would be. It's diplomatic because it's Mars Pluto, so I think it's less harsh when when Mars moves into Scorpio. It might get a little gnarly and intense, but by that time it's moving away from that Pluto square, which is happening today or tomorrow on the 6th. So I'll post this tonight and just let everybody know that when Mars goes into Scorpio, it's going to do this wonderful trine with Saturn for the first time, and that Saturn in Pisces is very essential to all of humanity is doing this subconscious babying of their subconscious wiring, which has everything to do, the subconscious is that flooring of our programming, and everybody as individuals has their own, but then there's the collective subconscious, which I'm pretty sure, yes, the C-19 announcements and how the TV goes in, and even just, the education system, Rockefeller's controlling all of that, is kind of doing the job on that. And see, whether or not that this can all be trusted is the question is like, well, is it Antichrist? And that's, nobody knows what that means. It's like, is it anti-truth? Is it anti-reality? Is it anti your own faculty? Is it anti just silence and observing on your own and getting your shit together kind of thing? Most likely, yes, yes, yes. If they have to really advertise and keep telling you the aliens are coming, and we've got all of this fucking millions of dollars of shit that they will keep on. That's what they keep doing, is just spending all these resources on bullshitting you to hell. Got that, kids? Next, we'll have Halloween.